Now in this video we'll be talking about roof. We'll be talking about the roof plan and the roof elevation. So for this plan we are adopting the hip roof style. There are many types of roof. There's hip roof, there's flat roof, there's gable roof, there's open roof. There are many types of roofs, but the one we'll be talking about is the hip roof. The hip roof consists of ridge and roof gutter. So the ridge are the ones that comes together and form either a triangle or trapezium. At the long side of the roof will be having trapezium formed, and at the short side of the roof we have triangle. So let's start now, and to do that we have to turn off this layer, the dimension layer, so that we can copy the plan, and let's turn off all other irrelevant layers. So we'll be making use of the first floor plan. That's why we are turning off the layers there. We'll be making use of the first floor plan for our roof. That is what will determine the roof, because it is immediately after the first floor that we'll have the roof. So copy the first floor and copy it to one side, and now we'll trace the perimeter of the first floor. And to do that now, so that we can use the perimeter for our floor plan, and to do that now we take our polyline and start from this edge Now we are done tracing, and we have to copy it away, or we have to move it away from the perimeter. And this is what we have now. And we can notice that I'm drawing on the wall arch layer, and that is kind of wrong. So I have a roof layer. So let me put it on the roof layer now and select this. In case you don't have roof layer, create a roof layer. I've shown you how to create layer, so take it back to roof layer and you continue. So now that we have the perimeter of the first floor, now the next thing we have to determine is what we are having after our first floor before the roof. Are we having concrete fascia, or we are having fascia made with wood? So we are having concrete fascia. I think that is what is in vogue now, concrete fascia. So you have to know the width of your concrete fascia from the face of the first floor wall to the eaves of the roof. What should be the width of your concrete fascia? For this plan we'll be using concrete fascia of 600. So by doing that now, what we'll do is offset this 600 and hit enter to offset this out 600, and we delete the one we have in the inner part and hit the delete key. So now the principle or the method for drawing the roof plan for a hip roof now is to locate the short side of the roof. This is one short side, this is another short side, this is another short side, this is the longer side of the roof. So the short side of the roof will form triangle and the long side will form trapezium. So we'll start with the long side, with the short side. We start with the short side, and to do that now, we use that command called xline, and after that you select angle and put it at angle 45 degrees, hit enter, point here, and make sure that you point the ridge first, and places where we'll be having the ridge are the extreme, the outer part of the plan. This is where we have a ridge here. We must have another ridge here, and at this point we must have another ridge. So we must have another ridge at this point here too, and at this point we must have a ridge here, and we must have a ridge here too. So it's the xline command again, angle, and now I want to reverse so that the ridge will cross this and form a triangle for me. So I'll do -45 to do the reverse, hit enter, place it there. So I'm placing this at this point too, and I'm placing this at this point. So after that, I'm going to trim out the unnecessary lines here. Hit the fillet command and select this and this. So we'll do the same thing for this point too. The fillet command, select this and this. The same thing for this point, the fillet command, select this and this. And we shouldn't be having this here, so if it's not going away, use the trim command. So and we are done with these two, with the short side now, which they are formed triangle. So from this short side, this triangle that are formed are two ridges meeting at a point here now. They are forming triangle, two ridges meeting at a point, forming triangle. So this is an inclined ridge now. From these two ridges meeting now, these two ridges will meet and form a straight line. A straight line will emerge from here. The straight line is also called ridge. So a straight ridge will emerge from here. So just draw a line of an arbitrary length at this point here to some certain distance, and that's okay. So the next thing we are going to do now is that at this point here now, this point of recess is where we have our roof gutter. So we'll copy this point here, copy this to this point here, to have our roof gutter. So this one must be meeting, this roof gutter now must be meeting the straight ridge. This roof gutter must be meeting the straight ridge, and we'll trim away the unnecessary points. So in case it is not meeting, you make sure it meets, and you can fillet it like this. So when we are done with this now, at the point where the straight ridge meets the roof gutter, another ridge will emerge, and at this point now, it is an inclined ridge that we are going to have at this point now, which is going to be parallel to this one coming from this side. So the principle here is that the inclined ridge that's going to emerge from here now will be in opposite direction to the roof gutter. So this is what is in an opposite direction to the roof gutter, this ridge. So we'll just copy this ridge to achieve what we want here now, and we'll copy it to this point here, and we'll make sure it is meeting another ridge coming from this point, because if you look at it now, this side now and this side are almost looking at the same point, but since we have a recess here now, so the ridge here now and the ridge here must meet at an inclined angle. This is what we're having now, forming a triangle, like it's forming a bigger triangle. So we fillet out the unwanted part of it, And from this point now we trim away the unwanted parts. So from here, draw a straight line where two ridges meeting. Don't forget that principle, which is also a straight ridge of an arbitrary length. Let's leave it that way. So at this point also, draw a straight ridge from the point where two ridges are meeting, and this is a roof gutter. Now we put a roof gutter at this point and we make sure it is meeting this straight ridge. So we'll copy this to this point here now, and what we'll do is extend this to the point there. So when we extend this now, the next thing we are going to do, where the principle is that where a roof gutter and a straight ridge meet, we have to have an inclined ridge that is in opposite direction to that roof gutter. So this is an inclined ridge, this is an inclined ridge. The one that is in opposite direction to the roof gutter is this. So we'll copy this to the point where the roof gutter and the ridge, the straight ridge are meeting, and we'll place it there. And we trim away the unnecessary line. So the next thing we are going to do now is that at this point where two ridges are meeting, a straight ridge will emerge from there. So for this point here, we have a straight ridge that must emerge from here. And the next thing is this straight ridge now, we trim away this and this. We make sure they are meeting. We fillet it to make sure that they meet at a certain point. They meet. So you select this and this. So there's also a recess here. Copy this and copy it to this point here now. And we make sure that this roof gutter now is meeting this straight ridge. Fillet it out. And from here now, we draw an inclined ridge that is in opposite direction to this. So this is an inclined ridge that is in opposite direction to this. We'll copy it from this point to this point here now, and we'll see it's already meeting with another inclined ridge, which is this. So we trim away the unnecessary part of the ridge, and we trim away this. So let's trim away the extending parts. Now we are done with our roof plan. This is the plan now.